Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of A Supermoto Goes Off-Road. Today we're doing the 4th annual ATV poker run out at Marks Lake. I'd like to thank the Quickie King, as you see him there, for inviting me out to do the ride with him. I'd like to thank John and Shauna Brown and Rayanne for their hospitality and letting us use their camp cottage as a home base. Yeah, they were really great. And so here we are getting started. We're heading out to the meeting point. It's about a 120 kilometer loop, a combination of gravel, forestry roads, some pavement, and some moderate off-road sections. So here we are at the starting point, and we're just waiting for more people to show up. Looks like the Quickie King's having trouble getting into neutral here. He'll get it in a second. So here John comes over to question if my tires are going to be okay for this ride, and I tell him that I think I'll be fine as long as conditions are dry.
Yeah. Well, we have a camp out at East Arrow Lake, and a couple of weeks ago I was out on the snowmobile trail, and it's fine there, as long as it's dry.
Okay, let's get this party started. Now begins a long, slow rollout because there's basically a long line of quads. Got our motorbikes here at the back. Really, we probably should be at the front because we're generally going to be quite a bit quicker. So along the route, we've just done a number of kilometers of gravel road, and there's a number of other lakes that are camp cottage people at the other lakes that are joining our ride. So here's another meeting point. Yeah, quite a few other riders joined us.
Keeps getting bigger.
At this section.
What? More and more people.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like people come from every lake.
Okay, looks like it's time to head out again. Here we go. So that's John Brown there. That's not his real hair. That is a wig. He's definitely a wild and crazy guy. He likes to ride fast. That's one of those Chinese-made Giovanni dirt bikes. Yeah, they actually look really cool. Maybe not the best quality things in the world, but definitely look like they're a lot of fun to ride. So John has decided that he's had enough of this slow going, and we're going to pull ahead of everybody here. This ends up being my favorite part of the ride. Supermoto doesn't feel like it's at too much of a disadvantage. It was lots of fun. There were still some sketchy bits where the bike was bouncing around all over the place. The Quickie King's behind me during this section, and yeah, he was definitely telling me that my bike's bouncing around all over the place. I don't know if maybe that's a combination of the tires and the suspension tuning on this bike is actually stiffer than on the actual S Dual Sport model, so it probably has a less plush ride than you'd actually get from the Dual Sport version, and probably a lot less plush than the bike he's riding, which is WR250sf. Pretty sweet bike. Yeah, just really loving this section, being able to cruise along. I mean, my bike top speed tops out at about 145, 146 kilometers an hour. The Quickie King's WR, I think the gearing on it, he can't go much faster. He can barely hit 80k an hour, and that Giovanni bike in front of us here can barely hit 80k an hour. So I'm losing time to him on the corners, but theoretically I can pull it back on the straights if I wanted to actually go fast enough to do that, but it's a little bit sketchy. My bike's certainly bouncing around all over the place. on the faster sections here. But right now, this part of the ride, my confidence is pretty good. I'm feeling, you know, immortal. I can't kill myself, I can't hurt myself, kind of thing. So I do even catch up to John on some sections. So here's another quad that I guess was a little bit ahead of us, and now I gotta make a pass on the inside line. Some rough, sketchy stuff there. Boom! See ya, sucker! Yeah, I love this kind of riding. These type of forestry roads are a lot of fun. Even more fun once I do get a dual sport with knobbies. And this bike will basically become my street machine, pure street machine. But it still has the ability to take you, even with these tires, you know, more places than most bikes could, even most adventure bikes. Basically the fact that it's under 300 pounds and 9.5 or so inches of suspension travel, so it can pretty much take you anywhere. There's a beautiful view. Unfortunately, the GoPro sucks for that kind of thing, but you're seeing some of the mountains in the distance, since this is the hilliest part of Ontario, this area. So we're at the end of this forestry road, and now we're turning off onto gravel road, gravel quasi type highway road. I think the speed limit on there was 80 km an hour, so it's basically a highway. So we're heading to our first checkpoint, where they're going to serve, I think, a Rita Lake. They're going to serve some breakfast, some coffee, some food, so you can top up, and it's where you actually sign up for the poker run. There's a $5 entry fee, which is pretty darn cheap, considering the amount of food they end up stuffing in our faces. So here we are at Rita Lake. First checkpoint. Bada boom, bada bang. Good times. Let's eat something. Okay, so we started again. We're on this gravel road here, and we're now at a checkpoint. So we gotta stamp our little piece of paper to show that we've gone through this checkpoint here. John's having a little fun on the Giovanni. My bike's like cleaning the lens. The bike is now kind of muddy. So this gravel road, it's Saturday in the middle of nowhere, and I guess Saturday in the middle of nowhere, Saturday is when they decide to do some work on the road. So they were out basically wetting it down, and my tires certainly didn't like it. Street tires, the same tires as the Ninja 250 on a wet gravel road. Not a lot of fun. My bike got filthy. So that's Suzanne riding that quad. That's John's neighbor. She lives in the cottage next door. And the girl on the back of the quad is John's daughter, Rayanne. She bakes pretty good chocolate chip cookies. There we go. Checkpoint Charlie. And hop back on your bikes. I was hoping we were going to end up going down this road here that you see, because that looks pretty interesting. Looks like it's be more fun, but we end up hopping on the gravel road, and it eventually turns to pavement, and then I get to open up my bike, since these two bikes here, Quickie Kings and John's bikes, top out at 80k an hour. We finally get to a section where I have the advantage. I have street tires, and I can go way faster than they can. So I use that to my advantage. Onto the muddy gravel road. So So here we go. Some pavement. Can open up my bike. Oh, now my laptop's getting herky-jerky as I'm doing this commentary. I freaking hate when it does that. So this is where actually I was supposed to stop, but I thought we were going to a gas station further down the road, so I just go whipping past. Probably go another 5K down the road, and once I notice that they're not coming behind me, I turn around and go back. And yeah, there's John and the Quickie King laughing at me. So we stop here and we can gas up. There's just one basic gas pump there that just has unleaded regular, which is what I need, and there's a small little restaurant in there that serves
I thought we were going to
all that
Swami.
delicious greasy food that'll shorten your life.
People are getting gas here?
Quickie
Okay.
King orders a big order of poutine.
Are you getting
If
gas?
you don't know what that is, there'll be a link in the description for it. I had a smoky hot dog. So now I'm gassing up. Get gassed up by a pretty blonde.
Hello.
Old school pump with analog digits. I think it ended up being a little over $4. So I used up probably close to half a tank, maybe a little more than half a tank at this point.
Okay.
And she has to, basically they were just filling
thank
up
you.
one after another, and she's not resetting it every time, so she's just doing the math to figure out how much gas I needed there. Bada boom, bada bing. Park beside the Quickie King, and it's time to go eat something.
Okay.
Okay, we filled up on high calorie, very unnutritious food, and we're about to start the a little more off-road oriented part of the ride. Here I am making fun of the Quickie King's chain because I've never seen a cleaner chain in my life, and I want to borrow the tool that he used to clean his chain. So here we go. John takes the lead as per always because he's a wild and crazy guy, and you have trouble keeping up to him, particularly me. My Supermoto tires. So we've just got a short little section here of pavement, and then we turn onto a gravel road for about 1 kilometer, and then we end up on I believe it's like a snowmobile quad type trail. It's mostly 2-track because of quad tires. Here's a view of some of the typical mountains that we have here with cliffs, and they're almost all flat top. Something to do with the Ice Age and how they were formed. So here we go.
So here we are. This is going to be the last leg of the ride.
So wintertime, this is used by snowmobilers.
A little more off-roading on a Supermoto.
Little puddle crossing. Boom! Nice little edit for you. So this is definitely bumpier than the forestry road that we were on.
Above sea level.
Definitely not getting a super plush ride, but the bike certainly has more than enough inches of travel to soak most stuff up. It's just not particularly plush. Old school bridge crossing. Log crossing. They already kind of crushed it down for me. Tire still slides out a little bit on me there. As lots of these rocky hills that we have to go up. And down. And another one. Get some momentum to go up it. Bike bouncing around all over the place. Fighting for grip that isn't there. Trying to keep up to the Quickie King. Another one of the hills. Yeah, as long as you maintain momentum, you can make it up it even with street tires. I certainly get bounced around and slide around a lot more than I think they do on their knobbies, but I certainly didn't feel like I was in any imminent danger. It was a pretty big hill, not particularly steep, but went on for a while there. So now we're coming into some wide open spaces and really truly beautiful country. Deal with some sand. My tires definitely do not like sand. So that mountain you see in the distance there, it's a little bit special. That mountain is the second highest point above sea level in all of Ontario. It doesn't look all that impressive because Thunder Bay is right on the shores of Lake Superior, and as you come out this way, we're almost 100 kilometers away from Thunder Bay. You go uphill majority of the way, so you already climb a fairly substantial amount before you get out here. So there are other mountains in the area that look more impressive because they initially rise up from where they are much more impressively, but that right there, folks, is the second highest point above sea level in all of Ontario. I think that's impressive. I didn't even know it was around in this area until just a month or two ago when the Quickie King told me about it, and I did a little research and he was right. So here we come to the first incident of the day that happened.
Got stung?
Quickie King got a wasp down his shirt and he's being stung.
Oh yeah, well you can see where it got you right here. Right there, it's gone.
Got stung once, and then he got stung a second time a little bit further up.
I gotta take a leak.
Oh jeez, yeah, guys, eh? Laugh at each other when we're in pain.
Times, Yeah, I can't
so there's the second one up top. This is the first time in his life that he's actually been stung. Guess he wasn't a stupid kid like the rest of us going out looking for wasp nests, hornets' nests. And I take a leak because I drank a lot of fluids at our restaurant stop. I'm still laughing, and the Quickie King's still bouncing around in pain.
You're not allergic, are you? You're not allergic, are you?
Sorry, man, I can't help but laugh. Jeez.
Really? You got stung more than once. Yeah.
Well, I got his first sting, his first wasping on video.
Just bad luck. Bad luck.
God, it must hurt like a bitch. Especially if you've never felt the sensation before. Oh man, my bike looks great. What a
I got that on video.
John came to find out why we weren't following him. And we get started again. End of incident 1. Wow, look at that sky. Just beautiful. So here we're coming up on a slightly more technical section. There's a kind of ravine thing that we go through here, and there's been shitloads of rain this year, and apparently it's fairly rough. I've never been through here, but both John and Quickie King have ridden through it before. They did it last year. So Quickie King told me that we have to go down it one at a time. So I'm all worried that, oh no, am I going to make it through? It's really not so bad. It's the first part. I'm like, what the hell are they worried about? It's a little bit rough. And there's a second section. Gets a little bit rougher. Oh, tire slide. Probably would have been better to have gone through there with just some more speed instead of trying to take it really, really slow like that. Live and learn. Live and learn, ladies and gentlemen. So the further in we get, we start getting to these sections that are a little more grown in and narrow. Lots of bush on the side. There's a slightly more technical uphill with some rocks and stuff. But again, I make it through this stuff. Confidence level's fairly high now. That wasn't so bad. Oh, some more rocks. Now some wide open spaces and places the sun's come out. So Quickie King and John whack open their throttles, come through here at 50 miles an hour, and not feeling quite so comfortable with 50 miles an hour through here, so playing some catch up. 40 miles an hour looks like I'm doing there. Maybe getting close to slow down to 30 miles an hour. Fast enough for me with these tires. Still fun. A rocky uphill to deal with. Fork in the road. They had to wait to make sure that I knew where they were going, because I've never been here before. This is all new to me. Now we get into a real grown-in section here. This wasn't fun. I didn't particularly enjoy this part at all. John was wearing a t-shirt, so his arms were totally red and scratched up from going through this section. I'm wearing full protection, so didn't really bother me, and actually my mirrors kind of helped. They brushed away a lot of the stuff before it hit me. Can't see nothing. I've got a twig in my helmet here. Gets stuck in the visor. How fast I have to go to try and keep up to those guys. Yeah, there's the twig that went in my visor. Another fork. Beautiful sky. And we move on to incident number 2. The final incident of the day. Okay, so if you watched my previous video, you know what's about to happen here. If you haven't watched my previous video, what kind of subscriber are ya? Go back and watch it. So this happened a week ago now, so I'll just give you a little update on my injuries. I have a very badly sprained thumb. It's been healing very, very slowly, and I'm seeing improvements about every 24 hours. I have a massive bruise on my left hip, which is strange. It doesn't hurt at all. My hip barely hurt, but I ended up with a huge bruise because of this little dump here. The bike, The plastic on the left side, the rear plastic, the front shrouds that cover the radiator, they're scratched, but not really bad. There's a little bit of scratching on the front fender. I might replace the front shroud maybe next summer. We'll see. The other two are barely noticeable. I did bend the handlebars, and I didn't notice it till I rode off. I bought a new Renthal handlebar that I got from the Cowie dealer. They had a KLX on the sales floor, and the curve and the size is almost identical, which was nice. And it's an aluminum bar, so it should be a little bit lighter than the stock one, just doing little things to make marginal gains in reducing the weight. The mirror is fine once I get it screwed on. So yeah, just a stupid little crash, considering that we had gone through much rougher stuff and I made it through no problem. You know, perhaps I was tired. I mean, we're multiple hours into the ride here now, and I don't know, I'm in pretty good shape from the cycling that I do, so I didn't feel all that bad, but maybe I was just getting complacent and wasn't really paying attention to what was going on at this point. But just a stupid crash. Made for a good video though. Didn't really hurt myself other than my thumb. Hopefully there's no permanent damage there, but it is taking a while to heal. But it's only been about a week, so I don't know how long. I haven't had a sprain in a long time. So maybe about a month before it's back to normal.
Hurt my thumb.
I can ride a motorbike, and I'll probably end up going for a ride tomorrow, but
clutch is still fine,
I'm not going to do
nice.
anything particularly adventuresome because I don't need to hurt my hand again, and I don't have the hand strength to do any, you know, threshold type of braking or threshold type of handling.
Yeah, I biffed. I crashed. Yeah, I hurt my thumb.
How did it happen?
Well, because I was coming up here, and then I went through the little bit rougher section, and it kind of threw me off the line, and I had to cut across this, like threw me across this, but it was on a little side slope, and the front tire just slid out. Everything but my hand. So I'll be able to ride, but I'll have to go slow.
Yeah, sure, you can go in front of me.
Okay.
You get on film?
Yeah. They ripped the camera off the side there. That might actually look good. No, it's in my backpack. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, like here. Like I got bounced around and my front tire wanted to go across here, so it must have like slid out on something.
Yeah.
But it just let go like nothing.
Yeah, you can see it definitely. I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks.
Good thing it wasn't on a trickier bit.
What's that?
It could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, it's like all it did is scuff that up. But that's probably a $200 piece of plastic.
Yeah, it'll probably just screw back on or something.
This won't go. Actually, I was turning it the wrong way.
Okay, thanks again to the Quickie King for inviting me out on this ride, and the Brown family for their hospitality, and to you, the viewer, if you actually watched all the way up to this point. It's probably one of my longest videos ever. Bye.